Each year, my family finds someone who's having an especially rough Christmas, and we deliver them a present in the middle of the night. Hopefully, they never find out that it was from us. We're going to play Santa Claus.
I've got to be honest with you. I almost didn't make this video because it spills the beans on some of our family secrets, and I need to say that if there are any young children around, you might ought to turn this video off and come back to it later. This box I'm building is going to go to a family that's having a hard time this Christmas. Hopefully they'll never know I built it. As far as I know, they'll never see this video. It's one of the benefits of having a small YouTube channel, and we're going to deliver it in the middle of the night and try not to get caught. Let me explain. My family has a tradition. When one of my children asks me if Santa Claus is real, my answer is always the same. Santa Claus is as real as you and me, because that's the truth, even if I'm leaving out a few details. When a child is old enough that they've pretty much figured out that there's nothing at the North Pole but ice and maybe the occasional polar bear, we ask them if they're ready to hear the whole story of Santa Claus with all the secrets uncovered. And if they say yes, we take them out to a special lunch. It's a celebration, kind of like a coming of age. And this year, it was Little Bit's turn. Now she's 10, and you might think that's a little old. She's known for a few years now, but knowing and having it confirmed are two different things. So we tell him the story of St. Nicholas, who actually was a real guy. He was a priest that lived around 300 AD, and of course he would have been familiar with the teachings of Jesus about giving in secret and not letting your right hand even know what your left hand was doing. Well, apparently he took it pretty seriously, and there's a story about a man who had lost all his money. So his 3 daughters wouldn't have dowries, and that probably meant that they'd be, living as prostitutes for the rest of their lives. We're careful about how we tell kids this. Anyway, Nicholas comes to their house night after night and drops 3 bags of gold through the window at separate times, providing the daughters with dowries. Well, the 3rd time that he did this, the man caught him, and he told the man not to tell anybody, but obviously that guy didn't listen because we're hearing this story now. And the story got passed on through the centuries. St. Nicholas became Santa Claus, and by way of Coca-Cola, Norman Rockwell, and that 'twas the night before Christmas story, well, here we are.
After I finish telling the story, I drop the bomb. I'm Santa Claus. And then I invite them to be next in line as Santa Claus and take up the 1750-year-old tradition. Now, if they say yes, then 2 things happen. First, I'm going to give the child a gift, usually made of gold, to remember the gold that St. Nicholas gave. And the second thing we're going to do is put them to work.
This bit of wood is from an old pecan tree that we trimmed a couple years ago, and it's gonna become a Christmas tree ornament, I hope. It's gonna be part of the present, and I'm going to let the girls do the whole thing. I won't even touch it because I want it to look homemade. I'd prefer it look like something kids made, but the problem there is that this isn't their first time turning, and, well, they're getting pretty good at it. The drive belt broke, and it looks like it's seen better days. So we ordered one from Amazon, and a few days later, we got back to it.
It's time we talked about where this present is going. Every year, we pick a family that just needs some help at Christmas. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes they just need to know that someone in the world cares about them.
If a kid decides to join in the Santa Claus tradition, Then they help us figure out who needs it the most that year, and we work together to make the gift special. And then, late one night, we sneak over to their house and drop it off on their porch, hopefully without getting caught. It's a nail biter every year, though, especially with pets and more people getting Nest cameras.
Here we go.
It's important to note that Little Bit's never done this before, and she never even knew that we do this, because it's always happened after she falls asleep. Because of that, we'd have to split the family up, with one parent staying home with her and the other going out on the midnight delivery. And this is the first time we'll all get to go do it together, so it's extra special. Now, I can't tell you much about the family we've chosen this year, but I will tell you that it was the kids that picked them. They've been going through a lot of tragedies all at once, and they'll be fine, but Christmas is going to be rough this year. We just want them to know that they're cared for. There's a lot of love in that little bell. I hope the people see it. What do you think? Would you want this hanging on your tree? Let me know. I do think that box came out well. One more thing before we're done. I've printed out about 50 Bible verses that I hope will encourage them this holiday season. I'm going to cut them into individual strips and fold them to make bedding. We'll probably put a little candy in there too for the kids, and we'll lay the ornament on top. I'm hoping it's not just something they'll look at once, but that they'll keep coming back to it. Maybe they'll read one of those verses every time they're feeling discouraged. Or maybe they'll just think it's bedding and throw it all away. I don't know.
All right, are we ready? Are you excited?
Yeah. Freezing.
It's okay. It's okay. All right, you'll go from here. I'm right here. Okay, you'll go. Okay, here. Okay, all right, get in.
Hopefully, we'll never know what happened with that present, but I know what happened with Little Bit.
I'm really happy I did that. Being Santa Claus, like, can't wait to do it next year again. It's gonna be really fun. In a couple decades, I'm gonna have children, and I'm gonna try to pass on the tradition to all my children and their children, their children. That'll be our 1 to 200 years.
I think I have the best kids in the world. And yeah, some of that is the way that we've raised them, but honestly, they just came out good. They've always been great. I hope if you have kids or grandkids that you feel the same way about yours, but you're wrong. Mine are still better. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.